All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Real Stocks. Let's check out what's going on in the markets today. Looking at some pre-market movers, and then we'll Tilroy again, 7%. What's up, Blay? How you doing? We got the NASDAQ. A little heavier than I'd like it to look at this moment in time, just to be quite honest with you. Don't know if that means anything, but this looks a little heavy. There's quite a bit of distribution here lately, but it is, slowly making all-time highs. I'm thinking, though, at one point in time we'll get a larger crack, maybe one more break before we finally settle things out. Unless this whole tariff thing with Trump gets out of control, which, I don't know. I think it's going to take a little bit for that to happen. Let's look at these market movers. MYND, A-Bill, CLRB, QDM, Neptune, whatever that is, NEPT, SIR, AWSM. What's up, Eli? I know everyone's pointing that out to me. NLNK. That last one was interesting. Not QDM. Was it NEPT? No, AWSM. That one's interesting. Got a recent IPO. There's your IPO buy point, and it's gapping up above it, actually, AWSM, to $6. Starting out the day right there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, if I get as many Twitter followers as he does, I think we'll be good. That's an interesting prospect. Don't know much about that company. $5. A little on the cheap side. Absolutely on the cheap side. Not too many shares traded. 5,800. And not other than Tilroy, not too much I recognize on this particular list. NLNK, CEL, SWZ, SFET. CHRS, GALT, TLRY. This thing gaps like an ADR does. It's just in its nature just to gap every day. It seems like gap, 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 gap. So it's been on my screener pretty much every single day. Okay, let's type into investors.com, see what the headlines are for the day. Stock feature slip on trade war fears. Chip giant is upgraded. And I actually want to look at through the IBD 50 this morning. So let's do that real quick. What's up, Jake? And what's going on with this website? It's not giving me what I want. Give me what I want. EIBD. There we go. Go away. Okay, so let's go through the IBD 50. So if you guys don't know, Investors Business Daily has this digital newspaper they put out. This is nothing new. They've been doing this for 30 years. It was a physical paper, and then, no one likes newspapers. So what they do is they have an algorithm. They go through, they rank all the top 50 stocks that their algorithm ranks, and they give little buy points. Like number 1, WWE is in a buy range at 86.03 buy point, technically late stage. So they give you these little notes, and you can see like on here 97 composite rating, 99 EPS rating, 21%. So it gives you kind of the Cliff Notes version. And so I'm going to go through this real quick, kind of see what's what. So they do mention WWE isn't a late stage base. No, the paper was great. I love the paper. So here's WWE. I definitely late stage base, and it's within the buy range. So here's your cut base. This, I don't know what the definition of a high handle is, to be honest with you, but this may meet the definition. They're not calling it that. I haven't really heard them ever call that a high handle. And so I've heard of a high handle, but I don't know what their definition is of a high handle. But this thing looks like it's going really well. So and then they have Grub extended 3 weeks tight forms on Venom Energy. All the signs are lining up, Eli. And Jake says NIO is number 1 on his watch list. Let's take a look at NIO. That is a interesting decision. It's only at 3 days of history. Not much to analyze there. So earlier we saw an ICO or an IPO. And this is exactly how you handle an IPO. Doing things the smart way, in my opinion. So here's a recent IPO. That's the first day it traded. Notice there's no volume here. The reason being is this particular indicator only shows you volume after 50 days because it is an average 50-day volume indicator. Don't know why. It's just weird. But either way, this recent high and this subsequent trough, that's your buy point through an IPO. So you look for what's called the IPO high. Now, you could call this the IPO high, but it wasn't much of a pause. This is obviously a much larger pause, and this is your buy point in this particular scenario, being IPO high. Reason being is because you give the IPO time to pause and then prove that it wants to go through a particular level. Hold on a second. Excuse me. So that's another Investor's Business Daily rule or kind of a strategy, and I like it because it makes sense, and it's worked pretty well in almost every circumstance, in my opinion. All right, so let's keep going with the IBD thing. We don't have a lot of time, but very late stage double bottom buy point on ABMD. Well extended from a double bottom entry. Rises 25% past an entry. Can't take partial profits. That's 5 below. Passes profit zone, soars into profit zone, exits buy range. Roars past entry in buy range in a late stage base. A line. Most of these won't be new to everyone, but okay, so there's a line. Fortnite, very extended, which we've already seen. We saw that last week. Fortnite has just been crazy. Or Fortinet, excuse me. Shaping flat base, MEDP. This is number 13. So this could get interesting. Flat base here on MEDP. Look at that good volume ever since that pop-up. That's really, really nice. Look at that. That's gorgeous. So let's put this on the short list over here. What's the fundamentals on this thing? 99 composite rating, 11% ROE, which is a little light. They provide outsourced clinical development services to biotech pharmaceutical industries. That's an interesting one. I like this, MEDP. I just put that on the watch list there. And then we've got TTD, which we've seen that soars to new highs. Still way extended. ServiceNow near tip of buy range. Above a flat base entry on now. So basically saying you better buy it now before it's just too far gone. And there's the open. Now you're pulled back 1%. So congratulations. These are 2 marijuana stocks topping our list here today. Torch, Insight, Cron, another one. Kiwi. Coors is up a little bit. What's top on our downside list here? Funko, Cisco, Fizz, Domino's. So nothing too crazy in either direction. The Nasdaq opening a little bit. HUYA dropping. IQ as well. I'm in IQ, you're in HUYA. Let's kind of see what happens here, I guess. I'll give it a little bit of space. Yeah, it gapped down pretty good there. But we could come back up. At least on, maybe we go back and touch that line. HUYA's got a similar line. A little bit closer to it. See what happens. There's that MEDP. Ooh, MEDP breaking out right now. Wow. Okay. What do we do here? We got 35,000 traded. I mean, instantly. That's a breakout in MEDP, the one we just looked at. I don't know if I even have enough time to properly process this. So where's your sell point MEDP? I usually go for about 20% as my target at least. 77. Ah, shoot. Nothing great there in terms of my strategy. Yeah, nothing great there. All right, let's keep going with the IBD 50. And if you guys see anything rocking, please post it up here in chat. We'll take a peek at it. You got the NASDAQ chilling 0.2%. Not getting crazy in either direction. Some more green showing up on my list, so that's good. Hopefully that trend continues. Twitter dropping. Still got that short. Yeah, bounced up a little bit. Down lower here. Cool, you still got it. ServiceNow is at the tipping point of the edge of the buy point. All right, good job. Netflix consolidating since July, just above 10-week line. This is usually a good thing. Okay, so there you go. It's above your 10-week and your 50-day. And not really, it's kind of making we talked about the inverted head and shoulders there. Looks like it's going, I think, maybe a little bit across there. That little trend line there, and we could be off to the races in Netflix. That could be just a nice little pullback, a little base. So you're kind of buying towards the bottom of a base. Could be good, 27%. That's good for a cup. And yeah, if you're interested in something like that, Netflix could be a decent buy here. Earnings coming up in about a month. Control 4 about to break out. There you go. Great Basin Control 4. And then we have the gap we noted a few weeks ago. And then looks like we rallied, and then we had this little U. Now we're kind of back at it, it looks like, so that looks pretty good. Excuse me. All right, let's keep going with the program here. Extended, slightly extended from breakout. That's Palo Alto Networks. Extended after May breakout and bounce from 10-week line is Illumina. Short stroke pattern, extended now. Gain exceeds 50%. Okay to take some profits. Yeah, right. Nice. Extended after ascending base. Ooh, the elusive ascending base. Extended, imperfect cup with handle base shows an entry. Nearly extended is Adobe. So there's nearly extended, which means it's still buyable. So there's your breakout point, and Adobe kind of going off to the races. Just had earnings, so that could be pretty good on Adobe. Forms new flat base with an entry point. There you go. PLNT. All right. So there's your flat base. There's your entry point. And in my book, there's an early entry point. On Planet, not too bad. Control 4, number 28, back above entry point, but erased 11% gain for sell signal. So they're not saying it's bad. They're just kind of giving you history there. So there was your there was your buy point, and then erased 11% gain. Or what were they calling that? That's not 11%, is it? Yeah, I guess it is. So they're just saying have a little bit of caution. It's already failed to go into new highs once. The next two are extended. Extended broke out. And buy range is ODFL. Old Dominion Freight Line. Oldie but goodie. We've been talking about this one for a minute. Cut base. Didn't really form a handle. And then I say let's wait for it to get over 170 though. Cross that resistance. Maybe 170.50, something like that. That's pretty good. I don't mind that one. Just above buy point, weekly volume accelerator on MasterCard. That's pretty good. Yep. 2% above buy point, so that's not bad. Weekly volume accelerates, so that's good. EC, let's look at EC. Yep, EC rocking. Doing its thing. I don't know what happened to Fizz. It had a bad day the other day. Retraced quite a bit of work here. Volume was heavier, but not super bad, so I don't know. I still have it though. Not super happy about it, but you know, you get these days. But EC looking really, really good right here. Very tight for the past 3 days after a big breakout. That's not on the IBD50 though. RP's in a buy range. That looks pretty decent. Not great, but decent. PRH in a buy range. UB&T extended from a buy point. Extended near 20% profit zone. EPAM, they mentioned finding support at the 10-day move at the 10-week moving average, which is the 50-day, which is right here. So that could be good for a pullback buy, but this thing looks like it's already pretty much pulled back. All right, extended reaches profit zone. In buy range is into it. Still within a buy range. Apple's extended from a flat base. And then ESNT forming a large cut base. Buy points at $50, so pretty far away. IDXX, they noticed near buy point in a ascending base in a weak breakout. And that's the IBD50. So retail's been doing good. Just scrolling through some of the rest of the paper here. SIVB, they're pointing out SIVB. That's one we've been watching here for a while. Looking really good. NASDAQ now down 0.5%. Yeah, I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, this NASDAQ looks a little bit heavy. So, and keep in mind that our distribution day count is a little high. We're at 6 on the NASDAQ, 5 on the S&P. NASDAQ's seen as many as 9. In the way the market's been going lately, we may get that. We may get those other ones. So, hold on a second. All right. Sorry, guys. Allergies hit me. Gotta blow my nose all the time, apparently. Hey, Christian. Bloom Energy. No, I never. I took one position. I don't even know if I took a position. What's their symbol again? BE. No, I don't think I ever did actually take a position in Bloom. I do like it. I like the company, and I mentioned that a few times. I like the company, the stock. There was your IPO buy point, in my opinion, but it was pretty weak. You can see it's been oscillating around that point, so I haven't really been aggressive in it. Hence me not buying it. There really wasn't a time. I wanted to buy it here. Looks like I should have, but I didn't, so I just kind of let it go. What's up, Ted? What's going on, Ted? Man, SIVB is one of the ones they point out in something. Yeah, Twitter not looking good. Eli short of that. Good job, Eli. Got the NASDAQ down 0.7% now. We'll see what happens here. Usually, Mondays and Tuesdays can be some kind of market playing around time. So we'll have to see if this accelerates or this stays as it is. In terms of the market structure, like I said, getting a little heavy in distribution day counts. As long as we don't eclipse that 76.97 high in the NASDAQ, we can easily add up a few more distribution days that would give this market a pretty good topping signal. Don't like DDD and Huya. Yeah, so DDD rolling over, volume not quite that great, but it did gap up. It's got a big gap right here. Let's see if it maintains the gap. It did pull back into the gap day, which is usually not the healthiest thing to do. Ideally, a gap and go should go. And DDD in recent history, you are still underneath prior highs. There's still overhead resistance there. Like I mentioned, DDD is a stock that's been through the ringer. It's come all the way down from like almost $100 down to $18. So it's a troubled stock right now. Yeah, if you want to get rid of it, just go ahead and get rid of it. I'm not mad at not holding DDD. It fails these breakouts. It's done it a few times in recent history. Right there, maybe right here. So yeah, DDD. I was waiting to get into it for the longest time, and then it's never happened. So it kind of dropped off my watch list there. Huya as well. Let's see what they're doing, down 2%. But it looks like they're maintaining today, which is fine. So stocks are a little different than cryptos, Ted. Stocks have institutional support, meaning that, huge institutions with multi-billions of dollars, buy and sell all the time. Just because something looks toppy doesn't mean you get out of it immediately. You can. Now it depends. If you've got huge profits in positions, you can start to exit those. But we're not really quite there yet. Just because something looks toppy in the stock market doesn't mean it is toppy. Things can rebound pretty easily. Core's down a little bit. IQ down most of the bit. IQ and Huya down. Tried to break out the other day. Looks like it didn't quite happen. Man, something's blooming, killing my nose. NASDAQ pulled back a little bit to 0.55 from 0.7. So you got to be a little more patient with stocks. Life cycle is a lot longer than it is with crypto. And in terms of shorting something, you can. Eli shorted Twitter, which is actually I think that's a pretty good short. Not too bad right there. Other than that, I think you just kind of see what the market does today. If you don't have anything in a super crazy position, super crazy loss, and then you just kind of wait and see what it does. But yeah, we talk a lot about patience, and this is one of those times to be patient. But let's go through the Nasdaq real quick and kind of show you why I think it looks heavier than it's looked in the past little bit. Like we've been. Let's do a weekly chart analysis, which in stocks is very healthy to do. Not so much in crypto. Crypto trades 24/7. So here's kind of a weekly analysis. Here's weekly of the Nasdaq. Now these are the E-mini Nasdaq futures, so it's not quite the same, but you can get a pretty good feel for things. And you can see we crossed an all-time high here. I mean, we're still way up here. We're not broken. We're within striking distance of one good week. We're within 2.25% of a new high. That's a good week, and that can happen pretty much at any time. You've got come on, stupid. Here we go. Okay. So here, we crossed into the high. We had a shakeout. We've been going higher in slightly lower volume. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. So we've been kind of trading it on the weekly. On the daily, it looks a lot worse. On this week, that's a pretty big week. Not quite an outside week. See, this high was higher, but a big week there, a bigger week there, a bigger week here. So we're kind of oscillating between buying and selling, which is fairly normal for the markets. You sometimes get that, but it does look like I don't have the same drawing tools as I would like to have. Maybe I go over to shoot. I don't know why I do that. That's stupid. Okay, let's go over here to that. We'll hit the Nasdaq on the daily chart. The thing I think here is it kind of looks like we're arching higher, and then we're starting to roll slightly. That's not a very good one, but you get the general gist of what I'm talking about. Looks like a slight curve here, but again, these are stocks and not cryptos. This isn't necessarily completely detrimental to everything that we're doing here, but yeah, there's kind of the slight curve I'm talking about, just very ever so slightly. I'm not sure if we have the exact same thing there. A little bit. So kind of see the bit of rising angling channel. Now again, this is stocks, right? So that this can happen for a while, and this still gives us some potential upside movement. You don't have to follow this trend line exactly, but it's just something that I've been noticing a little bit, hoping we'll get higher here instead of just rolling over through this thing. I know I say hope is bad, and it is, but you just have to give it the benefit of the doubt. Stocks do some fun things sometimes, and this may be one of them. So on the weekly there, you can see that we're kind of trading good weeks for bad weeks, right? On the daily, it looks like there's a lot more bad. So on the weekly, we have our bottoming week here in higher volume, not necessarily the worst thing in the world. And here we recently traded 2 high volume weeks. Going down to the daily chart, there seems to be a little bit more distribution. So here's a bad week we traded for. Here's that good week we traded for. But it is a lower high. WP, WHD. So we're looking a little toppy, still above the 50-day. Don't get too aggressive with your sales. But if you've got certain things that are in the negative, then maybe you start taking those off the table in terms of profits. Maybe you start looking to see if there's any exit signals apparent in your positions. Other than that, the stock market can chop around for a while without really breaking too much, while certain names go up and certain names go down. So, all right, let's go through the top ones here. We got GNC, which we noted the other day. Having a great day today. Man, I never bought that. Had a pretty good gainer, potential gainer there in GNC. And I was looking at the January 5. Still looking pretty good. But GNC looks really good. They're coming out of a very long kind of pennant base. Good volume accelerating. Looks like we're getting a little bit of follow through here, which is healthy. One of the leaders today, Boot, which is one we've been following for a little bit here. Cup with handle base right there. Broke out. Looks like that's still doing good. Kiwi, LL. ADS, kind of a cup with handle right there. A smaller one, but could get going. And then INSG just keeps rocking. We noted it out of this pattern here the other day, and it's just been continually going up here. So that's good. A lot of green days. Solar Fun. CDNA, we noted it out of that symmetrical triangle. Still rocking on that one. WHD looks like it's finally getting going. Light on the volume, though. This needs to pick up volume. A little better today. Looks like almost 30 minutes into the day. We've got 37,000 shares traded out of 757 average. So probably have hopefully an average day. Hopefully you can gain some steam there. Up there's CDNA again. So EC looking really good here. We noted them poking out of the breakout right there. Bet it could get interesting. Whoops. There's Ruger. Ruger looks really good, actually. Come on. All right, fine. There you go. Ruger coming at a very, very long base, forming for many, many years. And looks like just popping up right there. The volume's not really great, though. I wish we had heavier volume here, which we just don't. But not too bad in Ruger. I do like Ruger. Manitowoc. Nope. Nope. MBDP, one we just noted recently here today. Looking pretty decent. WHD. Same one we looked at earlier. What's Home Depot doing? Not a whole lot. Pretty nice cup with handle right there. Broke out there. Volume was pretty good. And then had a few bad days right after that. So hopefully we stop going down, and this what looks like a support bar, although volume is very much within the trend. So sometimes these support bars don't work out nearly as well if they're well within the trend like that. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. My position, I think, is underwater at this point in time. And so we'll see how that goes out. Really hasn't broken any major rules yet. It's just kind of stalling here a little bit. But yeah, you could buy if you're interested, maybe with a little bit of a starter position, and then see what happens. If it curls up higher and you see some upside momentum, then you can probably get in a little bit heavier. Let's check out what's on my watch list here. We got the MADP, which we just added there. WHD, which we've already seen today. Cisco looking pretty good after breaking out of a base, pulling back, similar fashion to Home Depot, then starting to rally again. Maybe take some entry there with a little bit of strength on that pullback. Generac, similar situation to Home Depot, popped up and then had waning volume. This may be due to the hurricane. There's Home Depot again. Cores holding up above a buy point. Breakout was pretty good volume, and subsequently low volume area, waiting for this to get going. Things are jumping around. I have things sorted by percentage, so as things move, so does my watch list. CRM, still continuing to move a little bit higher. Regeneron, just looking like hot garbage. Failing to go down lower, though. Still respecting this particular low. maybe we can rocket higher here this week sometime if the market doesn't completely crap out on us. CRM, Garmin, holding up pretty good. Marching a little bit higher there, so that's actually good in Garmin. Garmin looks really good. SIVB is one we've been talking about, but it's really just failing to get going here. Maybe it pulls back and does a higher low or something like that. BE, we've been discussing that one. Control 4, FFIV, looking pretty good. Just rocketing higher, not rocking the boat, not really doing anything insane in either direction. Just kind of walking up. UVE. UVE is a recent addition we've added. It looks like today. Looks like it tried to break out. And then looks like it just failed. So have to see what happens there. That's usually not a great sign. Fizz down 1% today. Got the 50-day coming up here. Maybe it's going to go ahead and hit that 50-day. We'll see. Volume not super accelerated, but there's some definitely some distribution here. That's a good buy day, sell day. There's some. I mean, those 3 days are pretty good, pretty healthy days right there. And it's perfectly happy going lower, so shows lack of support right there. FIVN, Twilio, we talked about Twilio. Domino's Pizza not doing too good. Really failing up here. Didn't really get going to start with. Volume was very light on the breakout. We noted that. Never took any action. And you can see the subsequent rollover here. Workday, Match.com. A little bit of a pullback, nothing too crazy yet. You see volume was very weak on Friday and today. Also weak, which is good because both of those are down days. We got Shutterstock. Looks like sell day the other day. Today's a little bit weak, but some support right there. Funko getting taken on the chin. We thought maybe we'd see some support at the 50-day. Not so far. Maybe when we do see some support at the 50-day, this thing will come back. So not going to lose track of this thing after having such a nice run up. We'll need some time to reset the chart, but it'll be probably good going forward. And here's my last one. Really just falling apart at this moment in time. So that's pretty much gone. What's up, Rebel? What website do I use to find quality companies? Investors Business Daily actually is pretty much where I do most of my research. Other than that, I pretty much look all over the place. Stock twits every once in a while. Screens on FinViz. And I do my pre-market movers here on the stockmarketwatch.com. It's just a resource I found. Gives you some pre-market movers here. And there's Investors Business Daily. Well, there's the paper at least. Go to investors.com. They always have good stocks. So you can be all over this place if you want to. They do have a paid service which I subscribe to, which is the newspaper EIBD, and get you access so you can view their stuff. I don't have an affiliate link for them, so you can just go. They do have a product called MarketSmith, which is like $100 a month. That is just gives you lots of different information, chart analysis, all kinds of stuff. They also have a few other services you can check in there, but IBD is really good. And then FinViz, if you don't know about FinViz, finviz.com. Wow, they're slow this morning. FinViz is pretty cool, except for the most recent ads they've been throwing up here. Excuse me. So just on the homepage of FinViz, they overload you with information. So you've got bullish signals here, top gainers, new highs, overbought, unusual volume, and things like that. And they have different signals. They've got all kinds of signals. And you can see them here. So you can go to, and I love this, you can just get a mini chart right here. And just see instantly, oh, that looks pretty cool, And then you can see if you're interested, and you can take a closer look. And see there's two showing up on the new high and top gainers. So they have different little screens that they throw up here. This is always a great place to get some really fundamentally weird ideas. iShares Global Utilities ETF. That's a beautiful bull flag. So maybe we'll go back and look at that. You can go down here if you want to see futures information. So quick crude price right there, natural gas price, gold, Dow, S&P. Insider transactions are over here. That's always fun to look through. ETP, ADAP, and they show you the value over here. So it looks like 2 insiders and ADAP bought, and you can see there's a little bit of support, little bull flag forming right there. More insiders, latest insider trading, top insider trading, I guess is the difference there. Different things here, news, earnings releases, I guess. And major news is over here, just right here. Tickers with different trend line support and stuff. I don't really use this that often, but you can if you want to. FinViz is a great little resource. Really cool. And they have this little heat map, so you kind of see what's moving. Oh, what's this guy? These are large caps in the different larger industry groups. So you can kind of see what's going on. Apple down. That's probably why the Nasdaq's down. And then you go up on top here. You got news. Their screener's pretty good. And they got crypto now. That's new. That's brand new. So FinViz there jumping into crypto. See if they have any fundamental data. Nope, they don't. Just charts. They treat them like futures. Ooh, okay. Now they're showing you their service. Back tests. Okay, they're smart. That's smart. Okay, the new tab for insiders. That's interesting. Futures, Forex. They changed things a little bit. Groups. That's new. Maps. Yeah, they definitely made some changes lately in FinViz. Crypto's definitely new. Maps has been around, but it's never been in this top menu here. But anyway, I'll go to futures sometimes, and this is like a ton of futures right here. Lots and lots of futures. And their ads in the corner are just freaking annoying. Currencies, grains, metals, softs, energy, indices. So you can see the Euro, the DAX, the VIX, Nikkei, Russell, and the 4 big ones here in the U.S. So FinViz is a pretty good resource. If you're just looking for information overload, you can go to FinViz. If you want to hit it with a scalpel or just find some decent pointed ideas, you can go to Investors Business Daily. Those are 2 really, really good resources. All right, guys, let me get out of here, get going on the day. Looks like NASDAQ down 0.8%, trying to take out lows of the day. We got it here breaking down. Who you breaking down a little bit. MBDP still holding up. WHD doing okay. Not really doing great, but doing okay. And Tilroy, GNC doing really good. That's about it. Yeah, it looks like it may be a red day for many stocks. We'll have to see. Match not doing so hot. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Yep, you're welcome, guys. See you tomorrow. Don't know if I'm gonna get here right at 6 o'clock. There just seems to be like 1 or 2 people here, and then people show up like it's 6:15. So I may show up then. So I'm not sitting here in silence for 15 minutes. So I may show up a little bit later. Don't be alarmed if I'm not here right at 6. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today. See you guys tomorrow.